afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, and welcome to this afternoon's edition of Good Grief. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I am joined by these two phenomenally beautiful ladies, Crazy Berrytown and Kim Possible 711. So glad to have you all on today. How are you doing?
Hey, girl, hey.
What's up? Hey, good afternoon. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
Welcome. And listen, this is another Friday that we've joined together, and I'm so happy for everybody that comes and holds this space with us. I cannot say thank you enough to the two of you. You guys are just outstanding and phenomenal. I appreciate all that you bring. Kim, you had some stuff that you posted up. I want to share with folks that might need to look out there. Good Grief. You had some things that you put out there, and I want to remind everybody this is here so we can all share in this journey together. So let's get this party started. I guess it's not a party, but let's get this gathering going.
May as well be.
Is it a party?
We can say that it's Friday.
It's Friday.
And who knows what's gonna happen today?
Come on. Ooh. Well, you better speak. You've been speaking
right. Right.
Well, you okay.
Oh, Lord.
Rebel said, "Okay, braids."
I know, braids up top here, Kim Possible and me.
And this is it's time to take these down and get them redone.
I know that's right.
I'm not
far they look great. However, up close,
right.
People are like, "Are you trying to lock your hair?" No, I'm not.
That'll be me soon.
What you trying to say? Exactly.
See. Oh, good afternoon, MCP 812. So much love coming to you.
How are you, MCP 812?
Welcome. Good afternoon.
Love to you. Sending all kind of love and light to you. And we know you're coming up on your anniversary before we meet again. So we just want you to know that we're loving on you and sending you all the energy that we can. And with that, I'm going to step back. Go ahead, ladies. Take it away.
Where are we taking it, Kim? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't even know.
Where are we going? I don't know.
Where we're going. I don't
know. No, good afternoon, everybody. Hey, Lady T. Nicole. Lady T. Nicole. Mrs. Lily Fields, welcome in. How are you today? Good to see everybody here. I hope everybody's doing well. Kim Possible, you doing all right today, sis?
Doing all right. You know, it's been a good day today.
I love it.
We started off in STL's stream this morning, giving the Lord praise.
Yes.
Accepting forgiveness and dealing with trauma. Then we go over to Rebel. And Mama Beauty was in the stream. So we just kept the praise going.
Yep.
So hallelujah.
Yes.
It was good for sure. Yeah. I learned most of the
we always do.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
I get ratchet.
We didn't get as ratchet as we could have gotten today, but you know, I did say the caveat now. When we leave out of here and we go to Rebel Stream, we still love Jesus now. Everybody remember that. So don't nobody look sideways at nobody that was in this earlier stream, and then we get over here and we twerking. Don't say nothing. Okay.
That's how it goes. That's the system. You know, that's what we do.
Don't say nothing about nothing.
That's what we do.
It has nothing to do with how much we love the Lord.
And to all the sisters that love the gray sweatpants.
Listen.
That was a conversation today.
Rebel, let me just co-sign what Retta Divine said earlier. We might want to call it a gray sweatpants stream. I don't know. Or a race train. I don't know. We just I'm just putting it out there. There's enough.
Uh-oh. Hi, Retta Divine. Good to see you. Welcome in. I'm glad you're here. Hey,
Den Darn, good to see you. Good to see you. It's good to see you both. I might need to take Kim out and have her come back in, but in the meantime, we're here. We are here. And yes, sis, how are you doing today? And I'm so glad to have you as well. We're gonna do a little heavy lifting and kind of let you glide and slide a little bit like Cassie, if we can today. Let's do that. But so good to have you here. How's it going for you, dear?
It's going all right. Yeah, it's going all right. It's a great day. It's beautiful. Kim is back now. But it's a good day. Okay. Yeah, as Kim said, it's been a good day. Yeah, it's pretty outside. The sun is shining, and that always helps too, right? So
yes.
It's really good. Yeah, good day. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Captain Boots has a swim meet tonight. And then let me see, something's happening tomorrow. No, Sunday. He has a birthday party. So, I gotta get on his schedule. So, mommy Ubers in full effect. So yeah. Hey, only one, Mrs. Cox, welcome back. Good to see you, love. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. So I was thinking we're in November and it's after Halloween the days just like fly by.
Yes.
And I was thinking about Thanksgiving. I was trying to figure out what I'm going to do, if I'm going to cook or if I'm going to cook a little and then order to go with it or whatever. And then I said, ooh, Thanksgiving, that's going to be here soon. That means the holidays are kind of upon us. And I've been out and about shopping and doing things and seeing, of course, we've seen Christmas stuff up probably since September in some places.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to just kind of tap in today a little bit and talk about coping during the holidays as we kind of come upon it. Obviously, we're not right there, but as it creeps in, just sometimes it's the little things that when it comes to grief, it's decorations, it's the Christmas music, it's invitations to parties and or family Zooms, or whatever. Maybe you're coming up on going on a trip to see family. And sometimes as we enter into the holiday season, that puts a different spin on grief. Many of us, I think, are dealing with grief. Obviously it's there, even if it's deep down or kind of in the back. But sometimes holidays bring it right to the surface. So what up, One Reason? Good to see you.
Hey,
welcome in, King.
The Bishop of Twitch, welcome.
The Bishop, and I said Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, let me tell you, that clip to me is one of the most, I think it's the best clip on Twitch, honestly, when John made his slip up. I know it was an honest mistake, but I swear to God, my stomach hurt so bad from laughing. Like I literally cried, and I think I might have had some snot. I don't know. But it's literally, I watch it. I'm not lying. I swear to you, I wish I could show you or have like a log. I watch it every day. Every day.
That's funny.
I just need like that one laugh. But anyway, One Reason, what's going on? So yes, let's chat about the holidays. Of course, I have my little Instagram tips and stuff.
Yes.
But I want to hear from you all. What do you think about grief during the holidays? And are there any ideas or thoughts about it, and any tips or anything that you do or have experienced as you go through the holidays? Yeah.
So every year we have a holiday care grief seminar at my church.
Ooh,
and so I'm
nice.
actually in the process of planning that now. Mm-hmm. And so we've had every year persons from Summit Counseling, because we partner with them, just to kind of call in and talk about grief and things that you can do and all of that. We've had it related to children. We've done it related to adults. We've even done it from a perspective of caregivers. Because, again, the anticipatory grief that we kind of talked about last week, and just the support that they need with things not being.
Uh-oh.
Let's try
that. Definitely busy over there.
I mean, to tell you, Ablo is loose. Let me take her out one more time, and we'll see if we can get her back. Mrs. Cox, let me say, we are praying for you and your dad, and I know that it can be a really, really trying thing, even anticipating what's going on and what's going to happen. So please know that our prayers are with you. Go ahead and put those prayers in the chat, put those prayer hands in the chat, put those bended knees in the chat. We are praying for you. And my heart goes out to you in love to let you know so much strength and energy I want to send your way, because that can really be quite a challenge. So, so much coming to you, sis. So much love coming.
Absolutely.
And that's what my dad just went through. So, the radiation does work. And so the fact that they've caught it and all of that, then there'll be some next steps. So I'll give you a call, only one Mrs. Cox. So just to share with you what the process my dad went through
Mm-hmm.
and see if it's similar and all of that. But
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's what I love. Why we do what we do here, just for something like that connection, and support, live, right? Right on time support right here. So yeah, on top of what she said earlier in the chat, the holiday. She was like, it's been a blah kind of week, with the holidays and then her mom, memories of her mom. So, and then now her dad, like she said, the waiting, the overwhelming feeling of the waiting and trying not to worry, but it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. So yeah, we are definitely praying for you. Only one Mrs. Cox. And I'm just a text or a phone call away. So just holla at your girl. Tall Pump says, I honestly don't look forward to the holidays. I try to keep a stiff upper lip, not to dampen the spirit of others. Yeah, a lot of people, I think, can identify with that. Tall Pumps. They feel what they feel, right? But then they just sort of mask it or push it back or push it down, I guess, maybe those feelings to not affect others, or want to bring others down. So yeah. Kim, I'd like to hear more about what you're thinking of or planning. You got cut off when you were talking about the program that you're doing at your church. I think that's beautiful, honestly. And all the things that, like, every now and then you'll mention things that your church does and your ministry does for grievers. And I am just inspired by that. I think it's great.
Yeah. So, there's been lots of tips and things that have been shared over the years, but this year we're going to have some testimonials of people as to how they have gotten through the grief process during the holidays. We've had quite a few people that have lost loved ones. And the one that I remember most, a member of our church had just lost his wife, maybe a month before. And he was now a single dad. And we were doing the session related to how to help children through grief during the holidays. And, one, just acknowledging that, things are different this year. It is.
Wow.
And then she gets on a roll and then
it just knocks her right out. I don't know if maybe I'll check and see if we might need to hardwire. I'm not sure what device she's using.
Make sure I'm hardwired in. Okay, I am.
MCP 812. I just want to be left alone for the holidays. It's like my loved ones are on pins and needles.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah, I'm sorry. But I totally get it. And sometimes, honestly, that's just all we want and maybe need. What's interesting though, too, is sometimes people think though, they shouldn't be alone or they don't need to be alone. And it just kind of, I don't want to say crowd you, but attempt to crowd you, right? When really that's all, like you said, you simply just want to be left alone. Sometimes it's just that, and it's what is helpful for you. Yeah. Welcome back, Kim, for the third time. It's like we said, it's like when people sneeze like a zillion times in a row. I mean, like, okay, that's it. One sneeze fits all. God bless you. That's it. So if you leave and come back, welcome back one last time.
I appreciate that. I don't know what's going on. I'm on my computer.
Are you hardwired or are you on
Wi-Fi? But I'm on the extender that I'm always on, so I don't know what's happening.
That's weird.
Diablo.
Right.
Diablo. Could it be?
Come on, Kim.
Could it be? all the tongues that's been going forth in this house today, I guess my enemy is upset and trying to take it out on my laptop.
Very upset. Very upset.
Lay hands on the pewter. Come on.
Like I could, but I could.
Come on.
Like what? You shall not pass. Oh Lord.
Take your hands off my laptop and off my internet.
A couple bottles of Stella Rose Black Cherry and a Sister Good. I know that's right. You better get your wine.
Come on.
I missed something about wine. What happened?
Oh,
there it is.
Oh.
Yeah, MCPA12 said a couple bottles of Stella Rose Black Cherry and a sister's good.
I think you were out, Kim. She stated that she wants to be left alone. She's not really wanting to be caught up in a lot of hoopla. She just like to be left alone. And then the second portion of that with a couple of bottles of Stella Black Cherry and the sister is good.
Need to try the Stella Black Cherry then.
Oh, it's good.
No, wait.
Listen,
Okay, I mean, you better
Stellas
know it.
all of the Stellas are good.
All the Stellas are good.
Yeah, they are. They are.
All right.
Oh, Reddit Divine. I hadn't thought about the holidays, but right this moment I had to pull over because can't seem to stop crying. I've been feeling sad all week. I don't tell my family and friends just because I guess I don't really want the sympathy. Yeah, I mean that's very common too. I mean, and you know, it's and that might be sort of hand in hand with what MCPA12 was saying and just wanting to be left alone. It's kind of maybe goes hand in hand. Sometimes you just want to be left alone because you don't want you literally just want the peace sometimes too, right? But you don't want the sympathy, you don't want the fuss over you. Also, kind of piggybacking on Tall Pumps and saying you don't want to bring others down in a way. It's all kind of tied up in there together. The holidays are tricky. And that's why I wanted to kind of chat about it today to help support ourselves and each other with, you know, if you are feeling some kind of way, we'd love for you to express it so we can embrace you. But then also if there's any tips that anybody has, that would be helpful. Because again, it's not, I mean, we're still weeks away from Thanksgiving, but I mean, to me, after Halloween, it's Christmas season, and then just it takes a pause for Thanksgiving, and then we back to Christmas. Apparently, retailers think so too, because as I said earlier, the stores are filled with Christmas items, and I'm just waiting for the music to start playing in a minute, you know. So that can be very triggering for grievers. Yeah.
So the first tip is really to just acknowledge that you're grieving, and that your feelings of loss and grief are real, and that is, you know, this isn't something that's made up. This is how I'm feeling. And the holidays suck right about now because my loved one is not here. I mean, it's okay to be honest about that. And then another tip was to really give yourself the time to grieve. So if you do need to pull back, if you do want to be left alone, you know, whatever it is that you feel like you need, be okay with seeking that out, so that you're not having to deal with, because if it's too much, if you know that this place or this dinner or whatever might be a trigger for you and you're just not ready for that, it's okay to say, I'm not going to that. I'm not doing that this year. So pull back a little bit during the holidays, do less of what you normally would do, maybe do something else. I remember when our church secretary passed away, her whole family decided they were not gonna, because she made all the food and it was a whole family thing. They decided they wanted to go start traveling during the holidays. So the rest of the family went and rented like this huge Airbnb, and they went to the beach and just started a whole new tradition because they really were not ready to experience Christmas and Thanksgiving in the house where she was not going to be. So they had to do what was good for them.
Yeah. That's what only what Mrs. Cox just said. She's going to the beach. She said going to the beach for Thanksgiving, just my hubby, fur baby, and myself. I don't want to be around the family. Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah. Welcome in, truck driver. How are you today? You've been in and out of the truck. Yeah, you sound like you've had a busy day today, but it's Friday.
Friday.
So yeah, I think, Kim, I think the new traditions, whether it's a tradition or not, but even if it's just a temporary thing, that's different than what you might have done when your loved one was here. Totally doable and easy to understand why somebody would do that. I mean, we left the Christmas after my mom passed. We went to Utah where my sister-in-law lived We were just willing to go where anyone would take us. I just didn't want to be home. My mom would always come for Christmas for about a month. So she'd be here now, not now, the 1st of December, not 1st of November, the 1st of December-ish, around that time, and stay through the new year. And so I just did not want to be home. I didn't want to know what that felt like to wake up and she not be here, during the holidays. So we went to Utah, and we didn't do that every year. Obviously, I think actually that was the only year we traveled for Christmas. After that, we've stayed home. And so and the other thing that I was going to say that's, part of this list that I have from Instagram is what you just said, is making new traditions, making new rituals. And that's kind of what we've done. We've kind of changed up what we normally have to eat, which was always seafood. That's what my mom loved. And so we were all like, easy, done. So we've changed that a little bit. And then we've just got some new and different things, mainly surrounding, Captain Boots, being the only kid in the house. So we've made some new traditions, and that kind of gives me a new focus, and not focusing on what we don't have and what we don't do anymore without my mom. So I think that's a great tip, is to make new traditions or new rituals, or try something different, to get through, even if it's not permanent, even if it's not permanent, just at least try this year. You might love it and end up, keep doing it. So
yeah. The thing is to just not box yourself into just like one thing, because you just have to go with how you are feeling and what you need in that time. So like you said, you may go do something this holiday, but then next year you may want to do something different. Or the year after that, you may actually want to do the dinner. And change the food up. So it's really about being okay with the uncertainty of whatever the plan may be.
Yeah.
Because it could shift and change from year to year, and even from holiday to holiday.
That's true.
You may take one thing for Thanksgiving, and then for Christmas, it's like, you know what? That worked or didn't work, so let's try something different.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's important to know yourself and that's why I love those of you who are saying, you're making a choice to either travel or be by yourself or do something different. You're making that choice because no one knows better what you need than you. So I'm happy for those of you who have, because the other thing too, sometimes I think we put ourselves, Kim, you mentioned the box. We put ourselves in a box, like, well, people are going to be disappointed if I say no, or my family's going to be upset if I don't come to this, or if I don't participate in the gift exchange, or whatever. If I don't make my usual banana pudding or whatever, people are going to be upset. And, and sometimes we really just have to close out the noise, or shut out the noise, and think about, what do we want?
That's true.
And yes, family is important, absolutely. And being together, if that's what you want, important. If it's not, you have to sometimes say, at least for this year, we'll revisit the next big holiday season or the next holiday when it gets here. But for right now, this is what my heart needs. This is what I feel I need for myself. So kudos to all of you who are already there. And hopefully that is encouraging to those of you who are kind of on the fence. So what are the things
to really fake it?
No, not at all.
And to do things to please other people. And I know that can sound selfish, but it's like, on the airplane, you got to put the mask on yourself first. So you have to really tend to your own heart and your own emotions, and really do what's best for you and what you need as you go through this grief process, because it's a process, it's a journey. And one moment you might be okay to go to that one thing, and if you get there and it's like, you know what, just a little too much, and be okay with leaving and not hurting anybody's feelings. Because you really do have to do what's best for you. Because it's when we start to try to, even in the midst of our grieving, still trying to, fit the bill of what other folks think about it. Because at the end of the day, it's your grief.
Right.
Because we talked about grief, even though you're having a a universal experience. It's as individual as you are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to look like what others might look like, and you can be okay with it looking different for you if it looks different for somebody else.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what makes us feel, some of us who are concerned about other people's feelings, is that we feel like, well, we've always done this. We've always done this big dinner. We've always done this party or this family gift exchange or whatever. And I don't want to let people down, or I don't want to break it up, or whatever. You're just one person, by the way. So, and if it's truly a tradition, it'll stay, right? Even if you don't participate. But I think that's where the angst comes in a little bit, where we don't want to let people down, and it's what we've always done, right? Like, we've always done this. And if I back out, how are people going to feel? And like you said, Kim, it doesn't matter. It's about what you feel and you making the best choice for you at that moment. And sometimes too, sometimes, let's say, you've been through a couple of holidays since your loved one or loved ones have passed, and you've gotten through them okay. But maybe this one coming up, or maybe next year, you won't, and some people will think, well, you did fine that first year or the second or the third, but grief, shows itself in different ways at different times. Yeah. And again, I think the holidays also add that layer that we don't anticipate all the time. So again, try to shut out those feelings and thoughts of, what are they going to say, or how will people feel if I don't do what we always do? Because you're a different you. It's like I always say, I look at life, in some ways, I look at life before Captain Boots came and then after Captain Boots, but then also it's like a second side of it. I look at my life before my mom died and after, and I'm a different person. I've written this down, and if I ever extend my writing, it will be around the fact that grief has changed my DNA. Mm-hmm. My loss has changed my DNA. Losing my mom, who is my DNA, literally, has changed my whole makeup. And that means that I move differently. I think differently. I breathe differently without her. And so if that means I miss a Thanksgiving, or if I do something different for Thanksgiving, maybe I know a friend of mine was struggling because they have a big family where they live, and mm-hmm. They always kind of house hop, for Christmas and then Thanksgiving. And they decided that, she and her husband, they didn't have any kids. They just wanted to be home. Their relatives were like, but you're just right up the street. And she was like, I don't want it. I'm good. For us, it's a little different because we don't have a ton of family here. So we're always kind of by ourselves unless we invite ourselves to somebody's house, which we've done, or I've done for us. But it's easy. But I can imagine the internal struggle where you have family that is local or close-ish, and you're used to being with them. And you're just different, at least again, for this holiday or this season, you're just a different person, and you want to experience the holidays maybe in a different way. So we get it, people. We get it. And as Kim is saying, she's preparing for this. Kim, you're preparing for this event at your church. It's, again, what you've said is very similar to the list that I saw on Amazon. I mean, I gotta think of Amazon. I gotta order something today. That's why.
Let's see.
On Instagram. Mm-hmm. And one of the number one thing was, and you've already said it, is to say no. And no is a full sentence. And period. It's a complete sentence. Mm-hmm. And for the grammar folks out there like me, it's an imperative sentence. Okay. So it's one of the 4 sentence types. Okay. And it means it's fully and completely, it has meaning. No. If you want to be a little more polite about it, you can say no, comma, thank you. Okay. So,
or you can put another word in front of it that I won't say, and comma and exclamation point after, and then I think they'll get it.
Oh my gosh, right? But
But
it's funny, but it's so true though. No is a full sentence and a complete meaning, and use it often. It's okay. And even if it's a no to things that you've done for years, you are different. And that doesn't mean bad. Different doesn't mean bad. You're just different. You're growing and moving and grieving and learning and loving in a different way. So say no. Okay. So say no. And the other thing too that kind of goes along with that Kim already said. Kim, I think you saw this on Instagram. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, but a lot of this is common too. There's two things, but I'm going to collapse them together. One is, when it comes to events and things, choose, if you're going to any of them, you decide ahead of time, that you're going to go or not. And then if you do go, have an exit plan.
Yes.
Because it may be something you need to show up at. Maybe it's something related to work, a responsibility, or maybe your church or something like that, and you need to be there. But have an exit plan. I'm going to go, but I'm only staying for an hour. I'm going to go, but if I feel some kind of way, I'm okay that I'm going to pack up my little self and I'm going to leave. So that's okay. So if you know that in advance, you're not going to beat yourself up. You're not going to make excuses to anybody there. I'm sorry. No, just get your little self together, your little purse and your man bag or whatever, and be out. Okay?
Get your stuff out. Just get it and go. It's like anything when you know that you're having to do something that's difficult and you don't want to do it, or you have to do it, but you prefer not to do it. Have a strategy around how you're going to handle it.
Absolutely.
I've been on Weight Watchers a mazillion times, and they tell you at the holidays, have your eating strategy worked out before you get there. Know how many points you got, know how much, the things you want.
True.
Have an idea about, the sizes of portions, et cetera, so that when you get there, you know how you're going to act and respond. And if things shift or change, then you're like, deuces, I'm done. And you don't owe anyone an explanation about why.
Right.
Yeah.
You just go, because you know how folks can be. They try, oh, wow, you'll feel better if you go. No, I won't feel better if I go. Yeah. I'm just not feeling that. And I think the older I've gotten, I've been able to, my no has become very definitive. And I don't add any extra. You don't need to know why. The answer is no. And as a complete sentence, I don't have to add any more to that.
Yeah.
So it's all about, what do you have to do to protect you in the moment?
Yeah. I agree with what Ronzi said. Absolutely. Absolutely. Totally agree with that. As Ronzi said, just as they respect my yes, you got to respect my no. It's true. Yeah. Welcome in, DJ Stacy Bless One, SK8843. Welcome, everybody. Yeah. Happy Friday. Good afternoon. I hope you're all doing well. And thank you all for being here. Yes, welcome to you too, Ronzi. I don't know if I said welcome. So yeah, I agree with you, Kim. It's important to think about this. It's important because, again, like I said, I think the holidays, it just kind of weaves and wiggles itself in a different way in grief than I think any other time, honestly. And not just this holiday, but this is like a season, right? Like now until the
November
New Year's, right? Like all the time.
I saw this video on it was either on TikTok or Instagram, where October was in the car and November was driving, and November was like, yeah, get out because your days are over. And October's like, yeah, but you only really got one day. But, it's really December's thing because it's all about Christmas. She's like, just get out. I can't stand you. And so then October finally gets out, and then November's like, yes, I can start Christmas shopping and decorating and And then December jumps in. It's like, hey, how you doing?
Oh, Lord. Right. I'm here.
I'm here. It's like, no, you're not. You're not due yet. You're coming, but you're not here. It's like, it's already Christmas season. Let's sing a song, shall we? And then she starts singing some Christmas song. This whole thing is absolutely facts. Absolutely true. Because the season is elongated. It really starts middle of October.
Legit.
Through to January 1.
Yeah.
And so the cultural dynamics of the season is just what makes it so difficult, because everywhere you turn is a reminder of the season and whatever traditions you actually held during that time as a family, as a friend group, whatever. Now all of that is painfully obvious that that's not going to be the case this year. And so we're very traditional type of people. So that's what makes it so hard, because I'm already looking forward to a Christmas Story 24-hour marathon on Christmas Eve. But you know, if it comes on tomorrow, I would be watching it because that's part of my tradition.
Yeah.
So
I hear you.
And I have to kick in on the Hallmark Channel and Lifetime.
Oh yeah, the Christmas movies are going forth already.
See, I'm not in the mood yet, though. So
yeah, I'm not quite in the mood for the Christmas movies either. But I turn over there every night forgetting, because I usually go to sleep to Golden Girls on Hallmark. But now because of the movies, Golden Girls doesn't come on. But I forgot. I'll remember probably in another couple of days. So I end up turning over there and watching a Christmas movie because it's not Golden Girls. So I'm like, I'm not ready, but it's sort of where my remote lands at night. So, I want to say to MCP812, we're sending more prayers and love and support to you coming up on this time of year. I know, how this season can be, and we just want to surround you with love, virtual. Because we know you don't want to be around anybody. We know. No, but virtual love, right?
Well, you're going to receive this love in Jesus' name.
Take it! Take it! Take it! Take it! Ronzi, listen, sis. The Christmas tree, listen, if I can get it past these two people that live in my house, the Christmas tree is going up next week. Straight up. Like, I mean, I am here for it. I have to take down. Actually, you know what? I have my my Thanksgiving. I'm looking over at my foyer. I have my fall pumpkins, but I just feel like it just could kind of all go together at this point. I don't even care, and that's what I want. So I'm thinking I'll put up the tree maybe next week, or maybe the end of next week, just to get a little close to Thanksgiving. I don't know. We'll see. Just because, as you all know, we're gearing up for Marshall and all that, and I just want to have the tree up and done.
Yes, Marshall and Barbie.
Yeah.
We're ready.
We're ready.
Excited. We're ready. We're ready.
We're ready. And I'm debating on Marshall's entrance. We'll see what happens. Tall pumps. Let's see. I'll take a break. Oh yeah, I know you. I think, didn't you do that last year? You took a break from social media. I think unplugging will help. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I agree. MCP12, we're glad you receive it, because it's on the way.
Yes.
So, Ronzi's hit all the way up, right? I'm not mad at it, really. I'm not. I love a good Christmas tree. Although I was a little put off by all the Christmas stuff being out so early but now it's like even more, right? Right. It's on the way, Rebel. It's on the way. Y'all remember that video on Rebel?
Yes.
Oh my God. Don't. Okay, Tracy.
Hold on. Okay. I don't want to get lost.
Together. I know, right? I'm going to get unfocused here. Rebel, stop, okay? Because I'm losing it.
Then we're going to have the cracks. Good grief edition. Good gracious.
Right, really. Psalmist, about our chocolate elf, Marshall. I got him as a gift, but I just saw a whole slew of them at Target. They have the boy and the girl, brown skin, and the others as well, at Target. I saw them 2 days ago or yesterday. So yeah, there you go. You've got to have an elf. Yeah,
speaking of chocolate things. So yesterday I left my earrings at home. So I can't go out without earrings. That's just
me either.
It's a problem.
I almost bought my husband one day
in my purse. So I had to go to CVS because they have jewelry in CVS.
Yep.
And I walk in the door and there is a life-size chocolate Santa standing there greeting everybody. I was like,
what?
On Queensbridge Road, which is an all white pretty much area. And I'm like,
yeah, that's impressive.
That was very impressive.
These folks know they want all this melanin, honey. I don't care. They know they want it. They know it.
Okay, I'm not even going over there because he'll end up in my car. So let me just leave that right there. I came here to get earrings. That's what I came here to get.
Oh my gosh. So. That's cool though. I love it. I love to see it. I love to see it. That's awesome.
Because my mother would have been like, you found that chocolate salmon, you didn't get it.
Oh. But it was really life size for real?
It was as tall as me. What? So it's 5 feet. I'm 5'4". So that'd be at least 5 feet tall.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Hi, Queen Shanna. Welcome in. Good afternoon to you. Hope you're doing well today. Psalmist, hello. I didn't say hi before I jumped in about the elf. Hello. How are you today? Welcome in.
Yes. Hello, Psalmist. 4. When people say psalmist, I'm like, you know what? You can tell you don't read the Bible. When she goes in the different streams and they say psalmist.
Oh, I can think of one person right now that always.
I'm like, what?
Psalmist. I see psalmist. Psalmist. I've heard psalmist. And psalmstress. I've seen psalmstress as well. Yeah, but it's psalmist. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on church, but psalmist. Yeah. That's what I was thinking
You're
of.
Right. Yes,
I swear it was. That's the main person I was thinking of. Silver Knight always does that, right? Full blast, didn't she, Rebel? Full blast, right?
Full blast.
For a whole 3 years.
I
know it. It's too funny. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
All right, let me see. I was going to pull up another tip. We talked about make new rituals. And then also, too, one thing it says is to check in with yourself throughout the holidays. As Kim was saying, like our holidays, depending upon what you celebrate, but even if you don't, just in society in general, we're talking October through the 1st of January. There's something going on seasonal, right? So check in with yourself. As I said, and or maybe Kim said it, you might do something for Thanksgiving, but come Christmas, you're like, I'm good. So don't do a blanket, I'm good, everybody, I'm coming. Check. And even if you do that, you might check in and say, you know what? I've had enough. Mm-hmm. Thanksgiving was great. Love the turkey. I think Christmas, I'm sorry, I'm tapping out. So check in with yourself, whether it is just sit down and take some deep breaths, whether you're writing in a journal, even chatting with your partner or your spouse or someone or your girlfriend, just to chat it out. How are you feeling? Check in with yourselves throughout the holidays because things can change on a dime. I swear to you, it could be that song. It could be that Christmas lights display. For me, last year, it was my son singing at his majority white Catholic school singing This Christmas by Donny Hathaway. Your girl was a mess. I was a hot mess. I was like, that's it. Christmas is over. Like that was one of my mom's favorite songs. I just was a ballin' mess, right? So just check in with yourselves throughout the holidays. Just again, because things can change. And even if you're fine, like I said, you're fine, you may not be later on. In that case, again, give yourself permission to say no, you know, to change your plans. And like Kim said, without explanation, no. Not this time. It's just not the time. I want to scroll back. Let me see. Reddit Divine. Oh, good. You made it safely. One thing you keep thinking about is that I'm my grandma's only daughter, and now they are both physically. They're not here physically. I don't really think about how I've changed it when it comes to the holiday. When it came to the holidays, yeah. I mean, and that's okay. And this is what I was saying. Sometimes people get through the first few, or maybe all of them. I don't know. Everybody's different, right? Mm-hmm. But what I've heard and read is sometimes you get through the first one or two just fine. Okay, we're party time, whatever. And then it comes around a third or fourth year after a big loss, and it's hard. It's different. It's sad, right? So if you haven't gotten to that point yet, I mean that's okay too, of course. But for those who get there, and for some people it's on the first one, the first holiday without their loved one. I mentioned before that I think a lot of my firsts, I felt like I was fine. My husband kept checking in on me on Mother's Day and Easter. My mom loved Easter. Every holiday, everybody kept checking on me. And I was like, I'm great. But as I said here before, I was numb. And when you're numb, you all know when you get Novocaine in your mouth to get your little root canal and stuff, you don't feel anything. You're not supposed to anyway. That's what numbness does. You don't feel. So I felt like I was okay. This is the best holiday ever. Oh my God, this is great. Mother's Day, it's easy. All right. I can make it. And then the next year and the year after that, it was a hot mess because the numbness had worn off and I felt everything. So this is for, if you're at that point where the holidays feel different, they feel sad, they feel lonely. And for some people, as I've read, it's unbearable for some people. So Retta Divine, I think that's perfectly fine if you haven't even thought about that yet. And you may not, and you may get through just, okay. Yes, Queen Shanna, tune in with yourself. Absolutely. Because no one else can do it for you. The Hopstress, what's going on? Welcome in.
Yes, welcome.
Good to see you today. Yeah, Retta, I think you're right. I think this is kind of what I've seen a couple of times we have about feeling lonely, but I don't want family or friends. Yeah, I get that. I get that too. Am I caught up? Yes. Okay. So yeah, I think that happens to a lot of people. You feel lonely, but you also don't want to necessarily. That doesn't mean you necessarily want to be around a lot of people either. So,
right. Yeah.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kim, any other tips or other things you're thinking about planning for this event at your church? Is it an event or is it a class? Like what is it?
It is actually a Zoom call. So we used to do it in public, but of course during the pandemic we've had to do it over Zoom. And then we found that a lot more people can come if they're able to just log in from the comfort of their home. So it's actually going to be on Thursday, December 1st this year. And one of my friends from Summit Counseling, he does an amazing job moderating panels. So I've got a former chaplain. She's actually also an ordained minister as well, who's going to be on. We've got some folks giving testimonies. We're trying to get maybe one or two more people just to really just discuss it. And even the holidays for the elderly, because, as you get older, and people have moved away, different things like that. They've lost loved ones, husbands, wives, children, etc. How do they, just being older, and then of course resources to go along with that. So that's the plan.
Sure. I love that. That is so awesome. That is, I just, even churches, I just don't know that people, organizations where maybe you would expect that. I just don't know that you see that often, even just a support group. I don't hear of that often in churches. My church does, the Ray of Hope does a grief support group, but I think that's it. I mean, that's great. I appreciate that. I don't want to sound like that's not enough, but I mean, if you do more, that's always nice. And so I love to hear the things that that your church does. And also when you talk about when you're supporting families, when they're coming in for, to plan their loved one's services and the care that you offer and the questions that you ask. I think it is so gentle and also intuitive though. And I know, later on, if they don't see it right away, later on, they'll think back on that experience with you and the staff at your church and be grateful and appreciative of that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, this actually, All Saints Day was on the 31st or 1st. And so we didn't celebrate it. Then we're celebrating it this coming Sunday.
Oh.
So I'll be leading that moment during our service for all of the members that have gone on and for anyone that's lost loved ones. We're going to acknowledge and light a candle for that. And I have a little liturgy that I kind of tweaked that someone had written and added things to it just to acknowledge that we're still in a space, people have lost so many folks. We get calls every day about another, whether they're members of our church or members who have lost loved ones that are elsewhere. So, we just have to keep reminding people that we're here, that you're not going through it by yourself, because all of us have lost somebody.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think it's kind of what Retta Divine said. It did help to know that you get that. I don't feel I'm the only one or being weird. Not at all, right? And that's what I love again about this stream that we do is that even if people are lurking or have just swung, just stopped by like once or twice, hopefully you've taken something away. But we're here to talk about what doesn't get talked about often, and to offer support. Yeah. I mean, Retta Divine, that at this point, and I know, we've kind of followed along with you moved back to help take care of your grandmother. And then sadly of her passing, we've kind of followed along with you. And so that's very recent. And it's understandable that, you say you don't know how to get back to yourself or what that looks like. But I think that probably takes time in how you how you live and breathe every day. That takes time. I don't think it's something that you can figure out now, because how is that even going to look? You don't know yet, right? Like I mean, if I lived or moved what I thought, I wouldn't be here. Like I literally said out loud, I don't know if I can walk on this earth without my mom. Like I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm here. Aren't you glad? Just kidding. But just being so
we are.
But again, like I said, I look at life sometimes as before my mom died and then after. And after it is different. It is a little bit different. I'm a little bit more, I walk with a little bit more footing under me. But I said to you all before that crazy story where I was literally spinning around and threw myself on my luggage in LaGuardia Airport, crying like an idiot because I couldn't call my mom to figure out how I was going to get through this situation with the Atlanta airport losing power. There's a snowstorm in New York. What am I going to do? And I still feel that way sometimes. I still feel untethered and unanchored without her. But I'm making my way. And I think you will too, Retta Divine. I know you will. I know you will. You just have to take each step every day and go through the next day and the next day and the next week and the next month and the next year. And you will come into that new you. I don't know if you'll feel like I do. Like I said, I feel like grief has changed my DNA. I really believe that. I'm a different Tracy post my mom's death. I really am. Not bad, just different. And it shows itself in different ways. And I think you'll experience that too.
Yeah. Just give yourself some grace and know that it's a day by day, moment by moment, situation by situation process. Because, it sounds like you're still almost in a denial stage because you're in that numb phase. But, you could be angry tomorrow or at the end of this stream. I mean, right. So there's, they talk about the grief process not being this linear thing, but this all over the place type of thing. And we had an image that we posted a while back that illustrated that it's just not this, you go from here and then you finally get to here and you're all right. You're going to always be grieving. It never stops. And, the more and more it happens in my life, I'm like, okay. It just brings up all the others for me. So it's like experiencing things over and over and over again. Am I getting better at it? I don't know. I mean, sometimes I outright just break down and they're like, the pastor is crying. Yes, I am. This person meant something to me too. I mean, I know it's your loved one, but they were cool with me. I love them too. So, for me not to cry? And sometimes, just being honest about where you are on your journey of grief really does free up some other folk.
True.
So, don't make any apologies. You are where you are. Yes, your life is different. It will never be the same. I've heard people talk about losing a limb. I saw a video the other day where there was a dog that had lost his front leg and the owner put his hand up to like high five him and you saw his little nub go up. And I was like, this is hard. He was like, I know it's gone, but I'm gonna still raise what I got to try to you. And I cried like, it was just, the slightest little thing can just take me off kilter. But I see those moments as excuses for me to cry when I didn't cry a minute ago.
True. Yeah.
Because when I do start to cry, everything comes out.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad I was able to get myself together enough for this stream from this morning.
Okay.
As great as all of that was, there was more in it that needed to come out for me as well. So,
and it's great you let it out.
Grace during this process, because there's nobody judging.
For sure.
Nobody's judging you. Yes,
Ronzi, crying is a total release. We've had this discussion. We've talked about crying in the shower. We've talked about crying in our car. Yeah, we're criers over here. So welcome, okay? Welcome in. Yeah. So we gets out the tears sometimes. So yeah, we obviously, we have fun, I mean, and it's me. So and Kim could get, we could get silly together, and STL just sits back and just lets us be crazy. But we also obviously, we have those tender moments too. But that's what I love. Again, I always say what I love everything about this stream, but I love that we can be ourselves and show too that grief, this is what grief looks like. Let's see this way. That's what grief looks like. This is what grief looks like, right? It's not always, 100% 24 hours, 7 days a week, tears, and, we're walking around with blue clouds rain clouds hanging over us. Sometimes we are that way though, right? So we want to share with you all of it, the tears, the smiles, the support, the love, the stories, the testimonies, the names of our loved ones, all of that.
Yes.
That's what we're here for. Yeah. Natty Dread, welcome in. Y'all rolling through today on a Friday. Y'all ain't got nothing to do on a Friday. What's going on?
Welcome, y'all.
Welcome in. I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you all so much for stopping in today. Let me see. I think there was one. Was there one more, or did I cover them all?
The only other one that I remember is that, if you really are just having a really, really difficult time, don't be afraid to seek professional help. Don't be afraid to seek out somebody legit that, is trained to help you process through your grief. If anything, somebody trained to sit there and just listen to you. Talk about your loved one, talk about how you feel, offer you some, tips or tricks or things that, may be able to help you short term or even long term. But, we are here from a support perspective, from a pastoral perspective, as people that have gone through grief and are grieving currently.
Yeah.
But even I have had to get a therapist. Therapy is good. Therapy is normal. We have to normalize therapy.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what Tab Gilbert just said. She just said it too. She's better with that because of therapy. Ronzi said therapy is normal. So again, even in the chat, people are sharing, to help others. And you're right, Kim. I mean, if all else, doesn't help as much as you need to function and be okay, absolutely seek out therapy.
Yeah. Because every now and again, you just need a space to process it all. Because when I realized I need therapy, because I had 3 losses that happened within 1 year. And I was, if I had not gone,
that's
there's no telling where I would be. So I had to go and find out and help myself to be able to process all of this stuff that was happening seemingly on top of each other. So, therapy, highly recommended.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Chris 11. Yes. I truly appreciate that. That's very transparent. Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm looking for a new therapist because my therapist moved back to Barbados.
The nerve.
The nerve. The unmitigated gall.
I know.
Like, what are you doing? Just found a new one. I just clicked with you.
No, but I want you.
Okay, now I got 5. So I'm having a moment, but I will find another therapist.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. What about Zoom? They're not offering Zoom as an option?
She's having some other issues with her family. So she's currently not practicing right now.
She's just not even practicing. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Retta Divine. Yeah, that's a lot for that was the 4th one, your grandmother's funeral, the 4th one this year. Yeah, I mean, and then you think about, you said this year alone, so that means obviously you've experienced, losses before, so you have all of that kind of compounding, I guess, or coming all together. So I'm glad you're here today. I am. I'm so happy to see you, and we hope that whether it's today, tomorrow, throughout the holiday season, whatever, you can find a way to be yourself, and to give yourself whatever it is you need. If you need company, you need to be around people, you need to be alone, you need a cocktail, my therapy, whatever, you'll find that, and you'll give yourself permission to feel whatever it is you feel, and get what you need. And I pray that for everyone today. I do. Yeah. Tab Gilbert, without therapy, I probably wouldn't be able to function. Okay. I realized that soon after my son was murdered. Yeah. That I won't even say I just can't imagine the trauma and the grief surrounding that. And I'm glad that you recognized quickly that you would need therapy. And a lot of people don't, though. A lot of people just press it down. I'm okay, put on a mask, and just fake it, and suffer and hurt for years. So, and thank you. That's transparent also. So thank you for sharing that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because when we don't deal with our grief, it manifests itself in other ways. Yeah. And you find other ways to cope that aren't necessarily healthy. So, it's always better to just get it out.
Yeah, Retta Divine said, I don't know if the drinks are helping though. No, they probably don't, but if they taste good, then
listen, I'm not you still might go to therapy and still need a drink, but I'm just saying. Don't let the drink be the only way. Because we can always use
they're working on my yard outside, so that's my cue to go. So I don't know if you can hear them. They're like getting close to the door, the leaf blower person or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know what that was. I was like,
did you hear that? Okay, yeah. Goodbye. No, I'm just kidding.
I was looking outside my house like
stuff like that always happens when you don't want it to, right? It's always like you couldn't come at 11. Like, why now? But anyway.
So every time I get on a Zoom call, that's when my lawn man shows up, the neighbor's lawn man shows up, or something.
Right. Oh my gosh. So they moved away a little bit. So yes, SK8843, the mutual support in this space is helpful, and greatly appreciated. We thank you for being here too.
Yes, thank you all for being
with that in mind
to share.
Yeah. And I love it too that, I know we probably have people lurking, but the chat moves. I love this about, they're on the roof, y'all. They're on the roof. I forgot I told them to come and do the roof. So now listen. Anyway, I'm so glad that people are chatting and feel safe to chat. Because there's one thing, you just lurk, okay, I don't want to say anything. I'm going to out myself of being, a griever or the loss. Sometimes people feel bad about that for some reason. And you may not want to talk, but many of you do share in the chat, even if it's a word of support, even if it's just a hello. We appreciate that so much. Truck driver, I know, right?
Yes, we will affirm that. Because I just discovered Peach Crown Royal, so hey.
Yeah, that's the bomb. It's so good. Let's see. Yes, Psalmist said therapy saved my life many times. I'm not at a place that I go as needed, not as often as I used to, thankfully. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see. Yeah, and the sharing does help. I agree with you. The sharing does help me as well, Tab Gilbert. So again, we appreciate you all for being here today and sharing. And I'm out. Listen, I can't. Can y'all hear that?
Yes, we can.
Goodbye. No, I'm gonna wrap it up and say, because I have to run some errands. So there won't be any Discord today because we are gonna raid, right? STL,
yes.
Are we raiding?
Yes.
So I will say my bit, and then you all can say yours. I need my microphone. Where's my microphone? I need my microphone.
Where is the microphone?
I think it's still in the car.
And the one that I bought doesn't do all of what you do. So
I know. I got one for Christmas, and it just amplifies the voice. The one I got for Christmas, it doesn't do all the voices. It just makes you louder, which is fine because I like being loud. But But I'll say this. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Truly, truly appreciate you.
Yes.
Go out there, have an amazing weekend. And as always, find the joy. Find the joy in something every single day, because you are worth it and you deserve it. Thank you all so much for being here.
Yes. And as Rebel has been posting in the chat, don't forget the Win phone, the Win channel out on STL's Discord channel. There's a Win phone section where you can share your feelings and thoughts with your loved one. It's a way to write to your loved one. And then there's the Good Grief channel out there as well that, we post different things. If you find something that's especially helpful, feel free to post that there as well. So, just remember to cut yourself some slack and give yourself some grace, because we're all journeying through this thing called grief together. So have a great weekend. We'll see y'all over on the show where, what is it? Tweet? I forgot. See, this is how.
I think it's Tweak Music Tips. Dr. Dady Priest, you all know our awesome Dr. Dady Priest. She is going to be featured.
One of 2 panelists on there today.
About mental health, right?
Yes, about mental health.
Yeah. So
that'll be good.
Let's
go
go
have a good
support
weekend,
Dr.
everybody.
Thank you,
Thanks
Krish.
for popping in. Thank you, Krish. See you later.